The Sacramento Valley and birds go hand in hand, and we have someone with us who can talk about this subject, Mark Biddlecomb of Ducks Unlimited. Mark, how many different bird species call this area home?
Well, in rice fields in particular, there's over 200 species that call the Central Valley home. We're part of this Pacific Flyway. It consists of the 9 western states and Canada, and in the Pacific Flyway, we have millions of ducks and geese. About 4 to 6 million ducks, maybe 7 million ducks and geese call the Central Valley home. They largely depend on rice fields in the wintertime for their food. In fact, 60% of the resources that they count on, food resources that they count on, come from flooded rice fields in the wintertime.
And we are actually at Matna Farms, which they grow rice. And Mark, talk about how rice production lends itself to providing habitat for birds.
Well, as you can see behind us, a lot of the fields that are harvested are flooded in the wintertime, and that's to decompose the rice straw. But it also is very beneficial to waterfowl. The water you see behind us is maybe 5 inches deep, perfect for dabbling ducks like mallards. They count on the rice grain that's left in the fields after harvest for their food resources, and it's very accessible when it's only shallowly flooded. So 5 inches is perfect for ducks, it's perfect for the farmers. It's a real symbiotic relationship there.
Various agencies are working together for the benefit of birds. You have farmers and growers, you have conservation agencies, you have water districts. To the everyday person, we're not realizing all this work behind the scenes that's been happening for years. Talk about that work.
Well, California's water system is nothing if not complicated. And it takes a lot of cooperation, a lot of communication to make sure everybody's approaching it in a balanced fashion and making sure all of our needs are met. In years past, the focus was very much on fisheries and endangered species, rightfully so, but I think waterfowl were kind of being left behind. And through the conversations that we've been having, we've raised that consciousness of the agencies, water districts, etc., to the importance of flooded rice, flooded wetlands, and the amount of food that those provide for these millions of ducks and geese that come down. So it's really been a synergistic effort between the water districts, the state and federal agencies, conservation groups like Ducks Unlimited. It's been a real good group effort to bring that all together to balance the needs and make sure that we're all as whole as we can be in this time of drought.
And Mark, how has the drought impacted the duck and geese population of California?
So ducks and geese are very adaptable, but they do need wetlands, they need flooded fields. As we have less and less flooded fields, in a typical year we would have 300,000 acres of flooded rice, for example. Now we're down to about 100,000 acres. That really reduces the food base that's available to them. They really need that food to make their journey back north to get to the breeding grounds. Our models indicate that sometime in January we would have not enough food left for the population that's here. The other thing that does affect them is there's a substantial breeding population of mallards here and some other ducks, but that number is down, I think, about 27% from last year, and it's seen this gradual decrease over the last few years. There's just not enough brood habitat in the summer to sustain the population of mallards that we've had in the past.